Now I'm fishing effectively. Good morning. It actually feels really good to be back out. I haven't been out fishing in several weeks, and I think it's been closer to 4 weeks since I've actually had a fish. We're into November now, and it's like somebody flipped a switch. We went from, you know, your typical late summer, early autumn with warm temperatures and, you know, pretty good start to the fall fishing wise, to all of a sudden just a snap of cold weather. We were out one day and I think it was like -1 and there was frost everywhere, and just an incredible change to what we had been experiencing even just a few days before that. And yeah, all the leaves changed color, started falling off, the winds picked up, and boom, it just became autumn right away. So the fishing got tougher, and unfortunately I just didn't get out. Haven't really had the time. So I guess it would have been about Thanksgiving weekend. Our Thanksgiving weekend about 3 weeks ago, 3.5 weeks ago. That was the last time I caught, and we did well. We filmed a video that weekend. So by now you would have seen that, hopefully, if we did things properly. We keep messing up our schedule anyways. But it was a really great session, a lot of fun. Goldie and I had quite the riot that morning. But since then, we were out a few times later that same week, but I didn't catch. Goldie caught successfully, Kevin caught successfully, and yeah, some of the guys that came down to visit from out of town, they did really well, but I didn't catch, and that I haven't been out fishing since. So here we are several weeks later. I finally get the chance to get on the bank for a few hours today, and we're kind of back to our November spot. It's the spot where Dave fishes and Clint fishes. Yes, I come here usually once through the summer, but it seems now the last few years we always do a session here in November. And it could very well just be simply because Dave puts so much work into making sure the fish are still here that we still catch this late. I think he's even caught here as late as December. But yeah, over the last few weeks it's been tough just sitting here kind of, well, not sitting here, but sitting around thinking, okay, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And what we realized is that we started filming another little video back in October during that Thanksgiving weekend that we kind of forgot about. And because we haven't been out, didn't get a chance to finish it. So if you went back to our October live stream, which we actually did the Thanksgiving weekend, the Saturday, that particular live stream was us making some homemade pop-ups. Well, me in particular, and Goldie just kind of laughing at me overall. But we made some homemade pop-ups. During the live stream, we had some great interaction from the followers. So if you haven't watched that, go back and watch it. It was a lot of fun. And you know, if it's something that you wanted to do, make your own pop-ups and you haven't done it yet, it's, you know, you follow along right with me there live. So give it a shot. You know, that's what I did when I first learned how to do it. I just followed another video that I had watched. But in particular, with these pop-ups, it was kind of interactive. I had an idea of what I wanted to do in my mind, but I got some feedback from the people watching us live, as far as color goes and flavor goes, based on what ingredients and dyes and stuff that I had with me. And yeah, they turned out really well. They're kind of like a really pale, washed out purpley pink color. Did some round ones, some dumbbell ones, and they have an amazing scent. They almost smell like cupcakes to me. It's kind of hard to describe. You can't really pinpoint one scent to them. Will you quit fiddling with that thing? Keep making me look at mine. So yeah, the one of the things that we wanted to do, once they had dried, obviously I couldn't use them the very next day because I wanted them to dry and harden up a bit. So we waited till later in that week, after making those pop-ups on the live stream, to actually start using them. So I did use them, and I didn't catch them. But we thought, wouldn't it be cool if we did a video of, you know, going out and actually catching on the homemade pop-ups? You know, that'd be pretty rewarding. So we did actually set up for one particular session where Kevin joined us. And I thought I could convince him to try my homemade pop-ups, but Kevin's kind of stubborn and he sticks with his own thing. And yeah, the start of that morning was something else. We got into a spot where we actually spotted a lot of fish before the sun come up just by shining the light in the water to see if we had any rocks really close into the margins that we had to be careful of and avoid. It was a pretty swift current in that spot, and sure enough there was a bunch of fish right there. So we got some bait in, and I put my line in, and I didn't even get so much as a bleep. There was nothing happening. Goldie went downstream from us a little bit, nothing. But Kevin went upstream of us into a little bit of a slack spot, kind of a deeper hole. And wow, it was kind of funny. We were just sitting there enjoying the sunrise, enjoying the start to the day. It was bitterly cold. And out of nowhere, Kevin gets one single beat. Just one. And that was it. No movement to the rod, no nothing. Just one beat. And he, in typical Kevin fashion, jumped and started racing towards that rod, and he made it probably 3 or 4 steps before he stopped. And I laughed at him and teased him and said, you know, are you really getting up for one single beat? You know, I don't get up for at least 3. And just as I said that, we're all giggling. That rod went into absolute meltdown. Absolute meltdown. It was a crazy run.
He smashed that. That was awesome. Hang tight. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, he's under me, Kev. I'm gonna have to leave it. I can't slow him down.
Well, just stay where you are.
One bleep and you run. Where you were the first time.
Coming back up?
Oh yeah, you don't want to come this way.
Okay, that's completely counterproductive of what I just asked. Where
Hey,
is he going in?
don't argue on film.
Right there. Okay, he is coming back up.
And then boulders are there too, no?
Yep. He's fine though. You're fine.
Another fish, another carp. Down by Goldie, I just seen it.
Oh, he's dropped back a bit. You get him up into here, you can swing him right to the net, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, that's close. He come up just under my line again.
At least you didn't have to pull out.
I don't. Oh, the way he went under my line, I thought for sure we were going to have to move it. He's coming back up to you, eh?
Yeah, perfect.
Must be a small one.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't feel heavy.
Well, it's on your mix. You don't catch big fish on your mix. Okay, just swing him this way so he can drop back. Or does he not want to?
No, you don't want to.
I've already done more running than I want to today, Kevin. You sure it's not a decent fish?
I think
Okay, lean the rod my way, pull him right towards me, pull him right out of the current. No, just lean. Just tilt it sideways. Yeah, pull him right out of the current. single beat, I thought nothing of it, and then your rod tip literally just smashes down. That was wild. It was so wild to watch. Ooh, that's a big tail on it. Hey, you got to pop a piece of pink on there, eh?
Yeah.
Not now. It's drifting away.
I had a piece of pink on there.
It's a long fish, big tail. Oh, didn't like the look of that. Oh, wow. He's not as long as I thought, but deep body, really thick.
Another one, eh?
Yeah, this is
15?
It's like that second one from yesterday, Goldie. This is probably 18, 19 pounds. Probably just shy of 20, or might hit 20.
Yeah?
Yeah, maybe. I hate you. You suck. That was a wicked hit.
Nice, eh?
Beep! Nothing's happening. Then the rod tip just boom! Boom! Like, that was wicked. Can I have some of your mix?
Sure.
Man, that fish turned out to be a good, healthy, chunky, I think it was a 23 pounder, somewhere around there. Yeah, I'm getting the nod from Goldie that it was in around that 23 pound mark. Looking at it, you would have thought it was bigger. It was a fat fish. And that's how we kicked off the morning. It was awesome. It was great to get Kevin a fish. He hadn't had one from that spot before. Just wait for this to rip off. I know it can go off at any moment. We've already had some knocks and bumps. Yeah, I just want to bite. So yeah, after Kevin's fish, we stuck it out in that spot for a little while longer. And unfortunately, nothing materialized. There was no bites, no knocks, no nothing. It actually just shut down completely. So we figure it's more of a night spot, where the fish push in at night on the shallows over this, in this heavy current. It's just sitting there picking off bait as it comes to them. And then once sunrise comes up, we kind of caught them as they were on their way out. So we decided a move was in order. We needed a different location. So we went further upriver to another spot we hadn't tried yet, and we were actually spread out pretty good. Kevin had seen fish there, I think the night before. He was supposed to put bait into a few spots, and it turned out that he completely baited up the wrong areas, areas we had no intention of fishing. But this particular spot, he actually got right. But instead of focusing the bait into one area, so we had a pretty narrow spot to put our attention, he baited up an area about 60 yards long. And yeah, you would have thought that there was going to be 10 of us fishing it. But there was only 3 of us. And, you know, it was interesting, not knowing that spot, not knowing the bottom contours. We really didn't know where the bait would settle. So we just kind of spread out along it. Goldie going quite a ways down the bank from Kevin and I. And that was fun as well. That was quite interesting. Kevin and I were just literally sitting on a park bench waiting for something to happen. And we looked over and we could hear Goldie's bobbing bouncing. And he had issues with drifting weed up to that point. So we just assumed, okay, well, he's got another big weed mat drifting into him. But the beeps were a little bit faster than you would expect from just a drifting weed mat. And as we looked over, his customized Homer Simpson bobbin fell off the line. But in typical fashion, Goldie's still sitting there playing on his phone, oblivious to what's going on, assuming that it was just weed mats. So we were all thinking the same thing, but as soon as that bobbin fell off, Kevin and I immediately knew that there was a fish there. There was something actually moving his line faster than just a simple weed mat. And so sure enough, at that point, the rod starts bouncing and the line starts peeling off, and Goldie gets up and drops his phone on the grass and bends into the fish, and just all hell broke loose. That fish went all over the place, didn't it? Like, that just went nuts on you. It was swimming out, swimming through the weed beds, and then it came back at you into the rocks, didn't it?
No, it was downstream probably 40 yards, and they went under.
So it went downstream and then under a rock near the shoreline. A really rocky shoreline. We were elevated up off the water. And so once we knew that he had a fish on, obviously I'm racing to get the camera ready. And Kevin was racing to get a net ready because he didn't take a net down with him. The nets were both with us. So Kevin's rushing to put a net together. I'm trying to get the camera together and on a tripod and turned on, and it's all over the place. And all we heard was Goldie swearing, "Will you guys hurry up and get the net down here?" It was something else. So yeah, I think we have footage of that, of me just racing down with the camera, just flopping around, and me taking the net and Goldie trying to get this fish managed because it was all over the place. But sure enough, we were able to get there. I was able to set the camera up in a relatively decent position, I think. I haven't actually seen the footage to this point. There, now the microphone's on. And we're not level.
I guess I should have had a net down here.
I'm coming.
I heard all the beeping.
I thought it was weed. Then the
I
weed,
heard it faster, and then I saw Homer just fall off.
so the weed went that way, and I'm like, oh, that's moving too fast. So he's going like, under all the weeds? Oh, geez, that's a decent fish. Come on.
That's a long, thin one. He's not as fat as the other. That's a good fish. I saw you running back and forth. I'm like, I couldn't tell what he's doing.
He went in under the rock over there, and I'm like, get out of the rock.
So you weren't even that close, or you were fishing close?
Actually, right where that leaf is.
Wow.
You know what that's on?
The new pop-up.
The new pop-up.
Oh,
Have a rod in the head.
And that was another kind of high double, low 20. Really good fish.
Well, here we go. As you can tell, we've moved from where we were this morning. It just wasn't producing a little bit. But which way?
oh, I got it. Okay, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, so we came down here. Kevin was here last night. He baited up, so we thought we'd come down here because we were leaving in probably like half an hour or so. It's Canadian Thanksgiving, so we have things to do and family to visit and all that other great stuff. Yeah. And this was on the brand new unnamed pop-up that we made on Saturday's live broadcast. Holy, you weigh a lot, dude. For small you are, you're so fat.
I'll go 18 on that. No?
Sure.
No?
It's hard to say because you got such a big belly. So yeah, those pop-ups work. Now we have to give them a name.
So yeah, guys, throw your comments in the comments section below, and let's try and come up with a name for these pop-ups. They have worked, and I'll be honest with you, I personally think they'll work better in warmer water conditions. But even though it's November, and the fish activity seems to have completely shut down from when we got here, I am still getting some bumps and knocks, but I'm convinced I can catch on these pop-ups, even though it's getting pretty cold at this point. Speaking of cold, it's probably dropped 5 degrees since we got here. But yeah, that's why we're here today. I want to catch on these pop-ups. It'd be nice to get the bite out of the way early because I really want to use a bottom bait today. I just think conditions are perfect for it, but yeah, we need a name for them, and I need to catch on them. That's why we're here. So, there's something in there that keeps bumping the line. You see the tip just dropping down. Oh well. I got a few hours. We're going to try this. We're going to try and make it work. Hopefully we can catch on these pop-ups, and if we do, awesome. If I don't, I'm really curious to see how long I'll go before I switch baits to try and just catch. Here's hoping we make it work. up like 3 inches, but so slowly. Now I'm going back down. They're in there, they are around that bait, they are not taking it. I'm sure I'll catch on these pop-ups, but I don't think it's going to be in this cold air, cold water. So the question is, do I go with a different flavor, different color pop-up, or do I go with bottom bait? What are your thoughts, Goldie?
I'm fishing out in the middle of the canal. I don't think I really have a good thought on this one.
Well, in all fairness, you are still using the homemade pop-ups, and you're probably going to stick with that because you're not here the whole time.
Catch your fish, and then...
Yeah, I think I just need to do something to catch a fish. Let's see. I'm going to try a bottom bait first. My rig should still work with a bottom bait. Hands are getting cold. Oh. Yeah, they're all over that. They're just not picking it up. That's getting smashed around. Well, the line is. Watch it be just like 3 or 4 salmon swimming around in a circle and hitting my line every time. I'm sure that was one that I saw go by there.
No, yeah, because nothing is bumping into my line.
Yeah, you're just to the right.
No.
The only other thing I could think of is that maybe they would take this, but the bait we put out, or that I made up yesterday, is to kind of complement what Dave's been putting in. But he's just been putting in whole corn. I put in whole corn, I put in some pigeon conditioner and some chili hemp all mixed together. They could be ravaging on the spot on that chili hemp and completely preoccupied with smaller things now, which would be my fault. But with that much movement, I gotta change my hook bait. If I can catch it, like you said, I'll go back to the bottom bait after. I said go back to the bottom bait, didn't I? I'm gonna go back to the pop-up.
You have a bottom bait in your hand.
I'm gonna go to a bottom bait now. And the only reason I'm switching to this, because despite the small particles that are out there, Dave said he put in some coconut boilies yesterday, the Monster Carp coconut boilies, and I have some. See, it's going up again. That's a liner. You saw the little ting on the line afterward where it started to lift and then came free. They're all around that line. I may just need to plunk one on the head and make him angry. See that? That was just a hook. I'm in. Going right at me. What a weird twitchy thing. The water's way up. Oh, goodness. So twitchy. bridge lifted up and there's a ship coming through, right? I'm gonna get wet here. Oh, that's a good fish too. Stop. Strong, man. This fish is nuts. Just so lightly, but got him. There goes my pop-up one. Fish is going bonkers. Almost knocked the tripod over. Oh yeah. There's the gate. I just hit the camera. Goodness, this fish does not want to stop fighting. Oh, stop it. Got hold of it. I got my fish. Now, no, it wasn't on the pop-ups. It was on a bottom bait, monster carp tackle, coconut boilie. But I needed to get a fish. I will catch on the pop-ups at some point. But for right now, I'm just happy I got a fish in November. So I may put the pop-ups back on in a little while. But either way, I'm satisfied. Had a great morning, lots of activity, had a really crazy battle with this fish. I really couldn't have asked for anything more. I'm gonna get this fish back. If I catch on the pop-ups later, definitely will show you, but certainly we'll revisit these pop-ups another time. For now, I'm just happy to have caught a fish.